Which is one landmark case or a very famous case that has happened earlier? It's already done, but you would have wish to be a part of it. You always wish ki मी जर या केस मध्ये असतो तर I would have, because it's your favorite case for that matter, you love that case so much that you always wanted to be a part of. Is there any case per se that you recollect right now?
म्हणजे आता खरं अत्रे साहेब नाही राहिले. अत्रे म्हणून जळगावचे खूप सिनियर वकील होते. दिस मॅन वॉज अन अमेझिंग क्रिमिनल प्रॅक्टिशनर. मालेगावला ट्रिपल मर्डर एक केस होती, सुपडू पाटील मर्डर केस. आय मीन आय वॉज यंग ॲडव्होकेट देन. बट अत्रे साहेब येणार, क्रॉस घेणार, त्याच्यासाठी आम्ही खास जाऊन तिथे बसायचो. So this man was known for his medical expertise in medical cross-examination, medical jurisprudence, handwriting expert, forensic sciences. So doctors ची उलट तपास. म्हणजे most of the advocates believe की you do not want to play a second fiddle to anyone in conducting a matter. But I genuinely would have wanted to be a part of the trial along with Atre Sahib to understand where were the questions coming from.
Okay.
कारण की this man was an encyclopedia on medical jurisprudence, Atre Sahib. आणि हँडरायटिंग एक्सपर्टचं आणि आर्मरी एक्सपर्ट. सो त्याच्यात बंदुकीचा वापर झाला होता. सो त्या माणसाची उलट तपास, ज्या डॉक्टरने PM केला होता त्याची उलट तपास, आणि हँडरायटिंग एक्सपर्ट, असे 3 एक्सपर्ट्सचा उलट तपास जो झाला, म्हणजे दॅट वॉज अन आय ओपनर फॉर पीपल ॲट नाशिक.
ओके.
म्हणजे नॉट मेनी पीपल जेन्युइनली एक्सेप्ट की चांगल्या गोष्टी शिकायला मिळतात आणि मला जमत नाही. पण या सगळ्या गोष्टी अभ्यासक्रमात नसतात. सो यू डोंट लर्न दिस इन युअर करिक्युलम. सो नॅचरली यू आर अ पार्ट ऑफ अ ट्रायल जिथे उलट तपास होतोय, आणि दिस इज अ लर्निंग एक्सपिरियन्स. सो आय वुड हॅव लव्ह टू बी अ पार्ट ऑफ द ट्रायल अँड रिलेट दॅट अँड डू इट इफ आय वर गाइडेड बाय Atre Sahib.
So, do you remember the name of the case?
सुपडू पाटीलची मर्डर केस म्हणून ते मालेगावचा खून खटला म्हणून चालला.
Okay.
सो ते इथे त्यांना शिक्षा झाली, पण हायकोर्टमध्ये त्यांना ब्रीदर मिळाला होता
Okay.
काही प्रमाणात.
So now, okay, last question with this segment. If there was an autobiography on your name, on your life as your career, you never know, yes. What would the title be?
My God.
Something. It can be Marathi, it can be Hindi, it can be both. It can be English, it can be any of them.
I was never claustrophobic.
Okay. This.
Basically, I mean, I've never repented having done things.
Okay.
So I breathe easy. So I mean, possibly, if I were to write about myself, that there were significant or insignificant moments, but at no point of time was I claustrophobic about anything.
You are a free wanderer.
Absolutely. So it's an open book. काचेच्या घरात राहतोय मी.
Okay. So let's put it a free wanderer. So if there was also there was one I thought about. शब्दांनी जिंकता येतं.
That's a very loud.
Because I think I don't know. It's my thing ki the beautiful oratory skills that you, even though you deny having them, I personally think you have great oratory skills. your arguments, or your, not that I've not seen them a lot, but how whatever I know of and everything, I think you are a man who wins people by his words.
We started with this rumor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we
that is
started
how
with the
I
rumor.
know this.
So you followed the rumor. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. We come back in full circle.
Yes. Finally. Now that we know that you've been practicing in the 138 matters financial crimes for a really long time, so would you like to throw a light on few of the aspects of the financial crimes and the banking laws, for that matter, for our young students?
Honestly, financial crimes are growing every passing day. Initially, we had the General English Law, IPC, which we believed was self-sufficient to deal with the everyday offences. But over a period of time, we realized that the commercial world requires special laws
Correct.
to deal with situations. So it was then we had separate special laws which were enacted. To bring credibility to the commercial world, we had Negotiable Instruments Act. Then we realized that banking frauds were being committed on a regular basis. People investing were not being returned their investments or interests or promises in time. So we had MPID.
Correct.
We have general offences of financial crimes, which is under cheating, the species of forgery,
Correct.
counterfeit, and other aspects. But these are relatively new things in cyber law. So these are things that our generation had to learn and start working from a scratch.
Correct.
What I now see is our education needs to help us relate with these new avenues. We have lawyers who come from different walks of life, who've studied science, who've done commerce, who've done arts. So probably, so we have students who join the law stream who might not have understanding of these complex issues, banking, computers, electronics. And if I lack these basic understanding of these issues, I find it difficult to deal with these laws.
Correct.
I believe that our education can be more proactive. As a student who comes from an arts background, it was rather difficult for me to understand computers. I am trying. I'm trying to learn every day. And I have the most pleasant surprises. Even my daughter tells me stories about computers, which I don't know. I might be self-sufficient. I do look into cyber laws and cyber crimes. But I need my associates from this generation who can help me correlate with this. So our education lacks in this.
Correct.
To somebody like me who comes from arts, I want this education to be proactive. Somebody who helps me understand what electronic devices are all about. What is softwares? What are hardwares? What are languages? How do you go about? What is a cyber theft? A cyber crime?
Yeah.
So let me have a feel of what it is all about.
Correct.
Not having studied these special acts, as an advocate, we have to give in much more than the present generation. At our end, we were not even taught company law. Not that I practice company law, but we are required to implement the niceties of company law in criminal matters.
Correct.
So to understand to conduct these criminal trials, I also have to read company law. So for this, I need assistance. And now what I realized with these financial offenses is that children are not taught basic rules of banking.
Yeah.
They're not told how do you deal with a mobile. What are the latches? what are the distresses which can occur on account of you being not so cautious while looking into these aspects.
Correct.
Going into Negotiable Instruments Act, which is basically a mundane routine criminal offense which many people practice, I realize this new generation is not even aware about banking systems. They don't know what is a check. They don't know the manner of or different types of accounts that can be maintained. What is a bill of exchange? What's a check? What's an electronic check? We are aware about e-banking because we're using the phone pay, we're using the Google.
Yeah, correct.
But now Google app मध्ये Google Pay वापरताना Supreme Court has come down very clearly that they are not bankers.
Okay.
But we used to use that mode of payment.
Yeah.
Phone Pay joins us through internet banking. So what is this? It's a contract. Do we understand that if I am to make payments, if they're to bounce back, what does it mean for a failed payment?
Correct.
What is the importance of a signature of an account holder? Where do you hold an account? When can you start an account? When can you start using your account? So when you go into the financial criminal matters, you need to understand accounts.
Correct.
I come from an art background, but now when I conduct matters pertaining to frauds, banking frauds or financial frauds, I realize that I have to put in that extra effort to understand the balance sheet or an audit.
Correct.
Debit credit entries are simplest forms of maintaining accounts, but the niceties and the complexities which are required to be dealt with. When have we been told what is a banking law? What are the responsibilities, liabilities? Because unfortunately we goof up with these two subjects, responsibilities and liabilities. I am responsible on account of an irregularity. I can be held responsible. But liability starts, financial liability starts by making compensations or fines. That does not per se mean a criminal offense.
Okay.
But where is that dotted line that if I am to transgress would lead to a criminal offense? I believe we as parents need to teach our kids basic banking transactions, commercial transactions and tell them the do's and don'ts of these sensitive instruments of communication which can be used against them.
Correct.
Me, over a period of time, what I have realized is that students, kids are victims of ignorance. Like we discussed, my daughter, when in course of discussion says, is this an offense?
That.
The kids are not aware that posting a photograph of my colleague or my friend without her permission
Is an offense.
is an offense. Now, what was the issue all about can be elaborated subsequently. But making lewd remarks or comments in a conversation could lead the child or a person to dumps.
Correct.
Because you are documenting this in texts, in WhatsApp. Is something which they need to understand. The imprints of photographs, videos remain even if deleted and can be encrypted back to the concerned system.
Correct.
Is something that the kids are not aware about. So they are of a belief की मी काहीतरी फोटोज जर का चुकीन काढले आणि ते डिलीट केले तर कोणाला सापडणारच नाही. मी कोणाला तरी काही मेसेज पाठवला विच इज सीन एज ऑफेन्सिव्ह, अब्युझिव्ह आणि ऑप्सिन,
Correct.
तर त्याचे रिप्रिकेशन्स होऊ शकतील. कारण की नॉर्मल लिंगो आपण आता बोलत होतो की त्यांच्या बोलचालीतली भाषेमध्ये ते शब्द वापरतात, पण ते शब्द वापरणं हा गुन्हा आहे
हे त्यांना माहिती
हे माहिती नाही आहे त्यांना.
करेक्ट.
आणि आय बिलीव्ह दिस नीड्स टू बी अ पार्ट ऑफ द करिक्युलम ऑफ द स्कूल ऑल्सो. जसं आपण सिविक्स शिकवतो तसं त्यांनी प्रायमरी लिगल एक सब्जेक्ट ठेवणं गरजेचं आहे. आता नवीन मोटर व्हेकल कायद्याखाली म्हणजे ते इम्प्लिमेंट आता होणार आहे पूर्ण, तर त्याच्यात जर का 18 वर्षाच्या आतला मुलगा विदाऊट लायसन्स गाडी चालवताना सापडला तर पेरेंट्स आर गोइंग टू बी हेल्ड रिस्पॉन्सिबल.
Yeah.
Are the kids aware about this? कारण की it's so easy for a kid to borrow a bike or a car from a friend without understanding the consequences and just go for a joyride. Does he know about insurance? की ॲक्सिडेंट झाला आणि इन्शुरन्स नसेल तर माझ्या बापाला ते पैसे भरून द्यावे लागतील, कारण की माझ्याकडे तर रिसोर्सेस नाहीच आहेत.
बरोबर आहे.
आणि इन्शुरन्सचं महत्त्व काय आहे? कन्व्हर्सेशन्स कॅन बी रेकॉर्डेड, कॅन बी युज्ड अगेन्स्ट मी. कारण की पुष्कळदा बोलताना मुलं आजकाल एवढं कॅज्युअली बोलतात विदाऊट अंडरस्टँडिंग. सो त्यांना त्याचं कॉन्टेक्स्ट समजवणं खूप गरजेचं आहे. ही जनरेशन खूप शार्प आहे, टेक्नोसॅव्ही आहे, पण टेक्नोसॅव्ही असताना त्याचे जे रेप्रिकेशन्स आहेत आणि ग्रे एरिया आहे हा मुलांना सांगणं आणि शिकवणं खूप गरजेचं झालेलं आहे. आणि ह्याच्यासाठी पालकांना स्वतःला पहिल्यांदा दे हॅव टू अपग्रेड देमसेल्स टू हेल्प द किड्स अंडरस्टँड. द स्कूल मॅनेजमेंट्स नीड टू टेक दिस सिरियसली आणि हेल्प देम अंडरस्टँड द सिच्युएशन. अजूनही आपण कुठल्या गोष्टी की थुकायचं नाही, अजूनही सिविक्समध्ये त्याच गोष्टी शिकवून राहिलेलो आहे. अजूनही आपण बेसिक लिगल लॉज का शिकवत नाही आहे, हा खरोखर प्रश्न मला पडतो.
इनफॅक्ट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पण सिलेबसमध्ये इट्स रिस्ट्रिक्टेड टू 14, 19, 21, दॅट्स इट.
राईट.
ओनली
आता जसं तू बोललीस की 14 आणि 19, सो फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन. आता फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन कुड बी अ पेन फॉर समबडी and could be a pleasure for me. I need to be told where do I stop. कारण की somebody could take this as offensive and I could end up in a cyber offense or in a case of defamation.
Correct.
or end up giving heartburns. हे त्या मुलांना सांगणं गरजेचं आहे. कारण की पुष्कळदा काय होऊन जातं, ॲज पेरेंट्स वी बिकम फ्रेंड्स. they get accustomed to talking to us as friends. आणि if they believe की as parents जर का if they can pocket this conversation, why is this seen as an offense by others?
Correct.
But the unfortunate part is we need to tell them, I happen to be a father and a friend. I take this.
Father first.
I take this. But this would be seen as an offense by others.
Correct.
So you need to be careful. आणि हे खरं आता कुठेतरी सांगणं आपल्या एज्युकेशन सिस्टममध्ये खूप गरजेचं झालेलं आहे. आणि ॲज अ प्रॅक्टिसिंग ॲडव्होकेट, आणि मी 98मध्ये पासआउट झालो, आय स्टील सी स्टुडंट्स फायटिंग फॉर बेसिक्स, आणि इट इज व्हेरी पेनफुल.
Yeah.
अजूनही इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चरल इनॲडिक्वेसीजमुळे मुलांना त्रास होऊन राहिलेला आहे. म्हणजे आमच्या काळात पण मोठकोट कॉम्पिटिशन्समध्ये, मोठ ट्रायल्समध्ये भाग घेताना आम्हाला कोण वकील मदत करेल तो वकील आम्ही शोधायचो. त्या वकिलाच्या सोयींनी आम्ही जाणार, त्याचे रुसवे-फुगवे सहन करायचे. वी वर ब्लेस्ड, वी हॅड सम वंडरफुल ॲडव्होकेट्स. ओडेकर सर होते, रुचा म्हणून आमची मैत्रीण होती, तिचे वडील. ही यूज टू गिव्ह अस लोड्स ऑफ टाईम. ही न्यू की त्यांना 40 वर्ष प्रॅक्टिस झालेली आहे, या मुलाचं बेसिक कॉलेजिंग आता सुरू झालेलं आहे, याला कायदा समजत नाही आहे. तर ते हसायचे नाहीत. ही यूज टू फील सॅड की मॅनेजमेंट नीड्स टू अंडरस्टँड की या मुलाच्या ताकदीच्या हिशोबाने त्याला कामं द्यायला पाहिजे. तर आता जर का मी थोडा ॲडव्हेंचरस आहे, ॲम्बिशियस आहे, ॲस्पिरेशन्स आहेत माझ्यामध्ये, तर मला असं वाटतं कुठेतरी मॅनेजमेंट नीड्स टू पूल इन रिसोर्सेस, needs to come up with this alumni. NBT, I'm a pass out of NBT. We've been propagating and we're doing this. कि law students we've been encouraging them to take up these matters, come to us as per our convenience, to help them deal with the situation and not feel embarrassed.
Correct.
कारण की अजूनही कुठेतरी we are lacking basic resources.
Correct.
आणि we need to help part with that as a part of your own contribution. Correct. Or your responsibility.
Correct. Okay. So, discussing 138 to a length, Negotiable Instruments Act. So, what are the basic precautions a layman should take? What are the remedies available to him? And what are the do's and don'ts with respect to the check bounce or the NI Act that is concerned?
सगळ्यात पहिल्यांदा what I believe is Negotiable Instruments Act is you need to understand की when you sign a check, you are giving an authority to the holder to fill up the check. हे सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचं. आपल्याकडे वी हॅव दिस वियर्ड कॉन्सेप्ट्स की सिक्युरिटी चेक दिलेले ते वापरू नाही शकत. दिस अ मिथ. द मोमेंट यू साइन अ check and you deliver it to somebody or somebody gets into possession of that check, he can write his own name, he can fill up the amounts, and you become responsible legally.
Correct.
हे सगळ्या गोष्टी डिफेन्सेसच्या नंतर येतील. तुमच्या सहीने that becomes a check which is payable. आणि you need to understand की तुम्ही अकाउंट होल्डर आहात का, तुम्हाला सही करण्याचा अधिकार आहे का, त्या सहीचं गांभीर्य आपल्याला समजायला पाहिजे. दुसरं, चेक नापास होतो आहे तो कशामुळे होतो आहे. कारण की जर का खात्यात पैसे नाही आणि चेक नापास झाला तर एनिथिंग दॅट इज साइंड बेसिकली मेक्स यू वल्नरेबल अँड यू कॅन बी बुक्ड फॉर an offense under Negotiable Instruments Act, Section 138 खाली. तो अकाउंट फ्रीज असला तर तुमची जबाबदारी होती त्या माणसाला सांगणं की मी ज्या खात्यावरचा चेक दिला तो फ्रीज झाला आहे या कारणास्तव, खात्यात पैसे आहेत पण तो मिळू शकत नाही, सो होल्ड ऑन. कारण की जर का हे कम्युनिकेट त्याला झालं नाही तर दिस वॉज अ पार्ट ऑफ कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट. यू वर रिक्वायर्ड टू हॅव फुलफिल्ड युअर पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट. द मोमेंट यू साइंड अ कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट अँड हँडेड इट ओव्हर, इट इज नाव युअर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू ऑनर इट. आपल्याकडे अशी पण माहिती आहे की स्टॉप पेमेंट झालं तर केस नाही होत, स्टॉप पेमेंटमध्ये केस होते. तुम्हाला हे प्रूव्ह करायचं आहे पुढच्या गोष्टी. दुसरा भाग, जर का सही करण्याचा अधिकार नसताना सही केलं तर फक्त नेगोशिएबल इन्स्ट्रुमेंट्स ॲक्टमध्ये नाही तर तुम्ही फसवणुकीच्या केसेसमध्ये पण अडकू शकता. सो डोंट ट्राय ॲक्ट स्मार्ट. आपण आपल्याकडे पुष्कळदा वी फाइंड पीपल ट्राईंग टू रिक्रिएट सिग्नेचर्स की तो चेक नापास होऊन जाईल. सो सिग्नेचर डिफर्स म्हणून पण येतात. देर आर कॉन्फ्लिक्टिंग जजमेंट्स ऑन दिस. देर आर सम हायकोर्ट्स विच बिलीव्ह की सिग्नेचर डिफर्सवर पण क्रिमिनल केस अट्रॅक्ट होते 138ची. अँड देर आर सम हायकोर्ट्स विच बिलीव्ह की नाही होत. म्हणजे ते पुष्कळदा जाणून बुजून तुम्ही सिग्नेचर वेगळी केली, खात्यात पैसे नाही आहेत, इज द बॉटम लाईन. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक चेक काय असतो, आपल्याकडे ECS. सो ECS आणि आपण एखादं कर्ज घेतलं, कर्ज घेताना इफ आय एम टू रिपे द अमाऊंट बाय वे ऑफ ECS वी हॅव ऑटो डेबिट mandate which we sign. Auto debit mandate is basically an electronic agreement with our banker directing them to make a particular payment of a particular amount on a particular date of a month. Assuming this is a loan transaction and we have to make payments against the EMI.
Correct.
The equated monthly installments. Now, this electronic image of the check which goes from this core banking system or a computer banking system is the electronic image of the check. So it goes from my banker to the banker of the creditor. If there is not sufficient balance in my account and if the transaction is not completed, I can be booked for an offense under Section 138 because Section 6 which defines check has taken a lot of changes. आता इलेक्ट्रॉनिक चेक ही परिभाषा पण आलेली आहे. सो आय कॅन बी बुक्ड फॉर द क्रिमिनल ऑफेन्स.
Okay.
आता वी आर डिबेटिंग दॅट देर द सेक्शन 138 कुड बी डिक्रिमिनलाइज्ड. Basically, Negotiable Instruments Act could be decriminalized. Is a debate which is currently going on. Now, there are loads of things. I don't believe this could be retrospective in effect. This will have to be prospective, assuming this sees the light of the day.
Correct.
If this does see the light of the day, the entire commercial world is going to take a beating. Because we work on promises.
Correct.
We work on contingent contracts. म्हणजे भविष्यात होणाऱ्या घटनांसाठी आपण आजच चेक देतो आहे.
Correct.
सो आता जर का क्रिमिनॅलिटी ह्याच्यातनं काढून टाकली तर हाऊ डू यू इन्फ्यूज कॉन्फिडन्स इन टू द कमर्शियल वर्ल्ड. मग नो पर्सन विल एक्सेप्ट अ चेक
Correct.
if it is decriminalized. कारण की who is going to have the patience to wait for a civil suit to be filed and a recovery to be implemented and to be recovered, knowing the latches and lacunas in our legal system which can be exhausted by people like us, the criminal practitioners or the civil practitioners, whichever the case be. So advocates can be seen as devils and be angels as well. बट वी ऑलवेज सीन एज द विलन्स.
Okay.
म्हणजे माझ्या दृष्टीने सगळ्यात वाईट म्हणजे एकच आहे की केस लवकर चालली तर केसमध्येच काही नव्हतं. केस लांबली तर जाणून मुजून लांबली. पैसे मागितले तर हा फक्त पैसे मागतो. पैसे नाही मागितले तर याची लायकीच नव्हती. सो इदर वेज युअर डूम्ड ॲज अन ॲडव्होकेट.
As an advocate, it's always like you're crushed from all the sides. Okay. So I guess this is it. This was a fun conversation with Bhate sir, who is a youth icon. Like I know from what I know.
खूप मोठे शब्द वापरू नकोस.
Sir, you are, sir. So please let me say that. Sir, as I know that there are juniors who are willing, like there's always a gardi in your office because people always want to be a part of your office. That is for a reason, because you're the chillest senior to have with. You are the person they can fall back on, is what I've known for a long time now. The environment that you have in the office, and it is something so, I guess everyone should, it's something everyone wants. Every not teenager now, we're no more teenagers, but law graduates, interns, and that is something that is very cultivative, that is progressive for that matter. And so yeah, we've always known you that way, and you will always be the chillest senior to have. Thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure having you. It was great. It was so relatable. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I was never aware about such a wonderful studio having all state-of-art machinery. And it's so nice that all like-minded people of this generation have come together as entrepreneurs and have come up to live this dream. म्हणजे हे खरं आमच्यासाठी खूप महत्त्वाचं आहे, कारण की वी हॅव चोजन आवर फील्ड्स आणि वी हॅव लँडलॉक्ड आवरसेल्व्स, पण यू डिसाइडेड टू लिव्ह युअर ड्रीम्स. सो फ्लाय.
Thank you so much.
Fly.